Hey everyone, welcome to episode 6 of Ferocious Finance presented by MagicGatheringStrat. I'm your host, Ferocious Llama. I'm back this week with a all-new set of buy and sell recommendations, as well as your weekly dose of Magic Gathering Finance theory. And this week, I just want to talk a little bit about, last week we covered 2 topics and we didn't have any recommendations. So I'm not going to talk a long time today about recommendations, but I'm not going to talk today rather about theory a lot. I am going to go jump right into the recommendations after I just talk about one quick thing regarding market manipulation. Now, everybody asks me, you know, Ferocious Llama, what can I do with market manipulation? What happens? Why do people manipulate the market? Well, the reason they manipulate the market is you can drive the price up by buying a whole bunch of copies of one card that's inexpensive, and then as the supply decreases, the price will go up because the bots don't have it. The big bots, like MTGO traders, don't have them in stock. So the price goes up. Then what you do is you take all these copies of this card that you bought for cheap, and you're not going to make any money doing this, just so you know, but you can put your competition out of business. What you do is you find a bot that will buy those cards, and you sell them at this new inflated price. And what hopefully you can do, if you're dealing with someone with a smaller bot, you can actually take all their tickets and essentially put them out of business. So anyway, that's not nice, but hey, that is business. So that's kind of just one thing you can do with market by manipulating the market. So if you guys want to talk about that some more, go ahead and leave me a comment. We'll talk about it. And if you guys have any comments you'd like to hear about, any topics you'd like to hear about, leave me a comment. I do read them, and I will do shows on what you guys like to hear. So let's go ahead and get into the recommendations. This week's first buy recommendation is Baleful Strix. It's currently going for 75 cents for the Vintage Master version. I know I have a different version pictured, but that was all I could find online. So right now the Vintage Masters version is 75 cents. I recommend you go ahead and buy it because before Vintage Masters came out, it's a rare in Vintage Masters. But before it came out, they were selling for like $5 plus, like $5.50. On MTGO before Vintage Masters came out. So I just think it's a great investment. Pick them up now. They're under $1, and they may not go back up to $5, but as Vintage and Legacy pick up steam on Magic Online, they will go up. So pick them up now and make some money. And our next buy recommendation is Council of the Absolute from Dragon's Maze. It's a mythic rare from Dragon's Maze. It's currently selling for 19 cents. Now, I know it doesn't see any play. You don't need to tell me that in the comments. But let me tell you about this card. What's going to happen is, and it happens with every single set, if you look at the sets, the prices of the sets as they rotate through Standard, once they rotate out of Standard, there becomes a redemption period where you can redeem them for real live Magic cards. Every single time, the mythic rares go up in value around this time. So, my recommendation is go ahead and pick up your Council of the Absolutes for 19 cents, and you'll make your 200% by December. Because people are going to want to cash in their Return to Ravnica block cards, and you'll be able to sell them to them. So, pick up Council of the Absolute. I know it's not a playable card. I know it's not a good card, but pick them up. It's a mythic rare. Mythic rares are always worth more. After they rotate out of Standard, they're always worth more during the redemption period. Towards the end of the redemption period, rather. So, pick up Council of the Absolute. And our next buy recommendation is Hero of Iroas. It's a Born of the Gods rare, and it's 35 cents right now. The reason we're recommending buying this card is I know it's not a great card. I know it doesn't see a lot of tournament play, but this is if you look at the price of cards for Theros block, this is the very lowest point they're ever going to be as long as they're in Standard. So I recommend you go ahead and sell them after the next block starts. After the Khans block starts, go ahead and pick them up now at their lowest point. They're going to steadily increase in value because less people are drafting Theros than will be drafting the new set. So the new supply will decrease, and it will drive the price of the card up. So it's really a cyclical thing. I wrote an article about it over on MTGO Library blog. If you want to check that out, I'll try and get a note in the a link in the show notes. But it's due to the cyclical nature of Standard cards pricing. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave me a comment about it. But that's my buy recommendation for this week. next buy recommendation for this week, and our last buy recommendation for this week, is Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond is currently selling for $14.02, and I know the I think it's a Mirage version is pictured, but I'm talking about the Vintage Masters version. The reason I'm recommending it is it's $14. It's a mythic rare from Vintage Masters, but here's the best part about it is, yeah, it's restricted in Vintage, but Legacy is getting a huge boost from a lot of these cards that are now available. All the cards that are good in Legacy, a lot of them are also played in Vintage, and this is a card that is a Vintage card, technically, because it's in Vintage Masters, is also played in Legacy. And it does see play in Legacy. So I think after Vintage Masters is over, it's going to sell for a lot more money than $14.12. I mean, look at the Mirage version before Vintage Masters came out. It's way high. So go ahead and pick up your Lion's Eye Diamonds and make some money when Vintage Masters goes off sale. All right, and our first sell recommendation for this week is Abrupt Decay. It's $5.11, and I know it's kind of at a high point right now, but you got to remember, okay, this card is legal in Standard, in Modern, and it sees play in both those formats. It also sees play in Legacy, and I've even seen it in Vintage. So it's basically seeing play in every format. But here's what I'm going to tell you about it. So I know, yeah, it's kind of on an upward trend, but when cards rotate out of Standard in September, every single Standard card is going to take a hit. Every single one. That's good in Standard. That's good because of Standard. And Abrupt Decay is one of those cards where it's good everywhere. So my recommendation is go ahead, get rid of them now, and buy them after Standard rotates. You'll be able to pick them up for cheaper than you can sell them for right now, and you'll make some money when you pick them back up. So that's my recommendation. My next sell recommendation for this week is Underworld Connections. Underworld Connections is a Return to Ravnica rare. It's currently selling for 60 cents. Now I know that's pretty low, and I hope you already sold them because Return to Ravnica is going to rotate out in the next couple of months. But go ahead and get out now. Get out now before cons comes in and they're worth, a nickel. Honestly, I think in October they'll be worth a nickel, just because they don't really see any play anywhere except Standard. I've seen them a couple of times in Modern decks, but nothing high level in Modern. So it's might be a decent casual card, but I wouldn't worry about the MTG casual market. I would kind of stick to the tournament formats, and it's good in Standard, but that's about it. So it's going to rotate out of Standard. Sell them and don't lose all your money. And our last sell recommendation for this week is Boros Charm. Now, Boros Charm is only an uncommon from Gatecrash, but it's currently selling for 40 cents, which is higher than a lot of the rares. But anyway, not important. What is important is it's going to rotate out of Standard. Sees a lot of play in Standard, and like all the cards in Standard that are popular in Standard, that are played in Standard, it will take a hit. So I would go ahead and get rid of your Boros Charms right now before they go down to 2 cents or 3 cents or maybe 4 cents if we're lucky once cons comes in. So go ahead and sell your Boros Charms. They're rotating out of Standard, and get rid of stuff that's rotating out of Standard. Don't hang on to it. There's no reason to. It's not really played in any other format, so it's not going to hold its value like Abrupt Decay will. But Abrupt Decay is still getting hit, and Boros Charm is going to get hit, and it will not come back. Alright, that's going to do it for episode 6 of Ferocious Finance, presented by MagicGatheringStrat. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you have any comments, questions, or topics you'd like to suggest, go ahead and list them down in the comments. Remember to like this video, share it, and let me know what you think. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like certain aspects of it, let me know. And we'll get the show to be something you guys really like and something you guys want to hear and watch. So, as always, I'm your host, Ferocious Llama, and I'll see you guys next week.